Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. I am Soumya Bhushan and we are learning Azure. In last video we have learned how to create free Azure account. If you don't have Azure account, you can refer to that video. In this video we will be talking about regions, availability zones and data center. So let's move forward. Before moving forward, let me tell you this video is itself enough to tell you about every important steps about regions, availability zones and data center. So stay tuned. Let's assume you want to deploy some application or you want to use any cloud services like virtual machine or databases or any other service. These services must be hosted somewhere on physical servers, and these physical servers must be hosted somewhere physically. That physical location where these physical servers are located is known as data center. So you can say the physical facility that hosts a group of network servers is known as data center. The servers are basically arranged in racks. They will have their own power, own cooling and networking infrastructure. In Azure, or Microsoft owns more than 300 plus of data center, and it has more than 442,000 kilometers of networks, which is really big, and 190 plus of networks point of presence. Let me show you an image of real data center. So yeah, this is the image of a real data center and you can see how big it is. And there are around 300 plus data centers that Azure owns. Now let me show you something interesting. This is a link that Azure provides where you can explore the data center virtually. As you can see from here, these are some energy sources, that is solar energy and wind energy. There are some solar energy panels or solar panels. And these are some windmills which produces energy or power for these data centers. You can explore this link on your own. I'll be providing these links in the description section. Now let's talk about availability zones. So we have already talked about data centers, right? So let's assume this is one data center, this is another data center. So you can say group of these data centers can be considered as zones or availability zones. Typically, one zone contains one data center, but one zone can have more than one data center. So that is not necessarily important that one zone will have one data center. Now these availability zones are basically designed to protect from data center failures and provide redundancy. So why data centers has been separated as a zone? So let's take an example. Let's say if you want to deploy two virtual machines, and it is basically you want to prevent it from any data center failure. So you want these two virtual machines should be deployed in two different data centers. So typically when you will deploy these virtual machines, that is not necessary that these two virtual machines will be deployed on two different data centers. In that case, if you want to do it, you need to select the zones, right? You need to select two different zones to make it possible. And that's why zones come into play. That is the importance of zones. So if your one virtual machine has been deployed in zone A and another virtual machine is being deployed in zone B, that means these virtual machines has been deployed in two different data centers. Even though if one data center goes down, another data center will keep working. That means your application is still available, right? And it provides the high availability of your applications. So this is the importance of zones. It basically protects you from data center failures and it also provides redundancy. So if you want to run any mission critical or highly available application, you can consider to deploy your applications in different zones. So zones basically have three different service categories. First one is zonal services, then zone redundant services and non-regional services. So zonal services is basically the services that you can deploy in different zones, right? So you can choose in which zone basically you want to deploy your services. So let's say if you want to deploy your virtual machine in zone A or any three different zones, so you can choose that, and that's why these resources are known as zonal resources. Another services are basically zone redundant services. In that case, you just need to enable the zone redundancy and Azure will take care of that. It will basically, the services like SQL, it will deploy these services in multiple zones, just with the selection of one option, that is zone redundant option. Now some services are non-regional services. So these services are not basically deployed in any particular zones that could be geographically available. So typically we have these two zone service categories. Now, not all regions are supported with zones. You don't know about region, so you can say that it is kind of a group of zones. So in some of the regions, there is no option to select particular zones, but if there is an option to select zones, there would have minimum of 3 or more zones. Now, what are regions? So this is kind of a geographical area on the planet, such as US, Europe, and Asia. So in simple terms, you can say these are data centers which will have some physical servers, right? These data center group can be considered as zone. There could be another data center, and this is zone B. And similarly, we have zone C. And these zones are being connected with network, a very high throughput network that would be less than 2 milliseconds. And the group of these zones are basically called as region. Right. So this is what region is. So a region is kind of a geographical location which will consist of multiple zones. So it is kind of a geographical area on the planet. And in this, basically, there are different zones that are connected with low latency network, which is less than 2 milliseconds. So some services are available only in certain regions. That means few services are only located in some geographical regions or some geographical areas. And there are some global services in which you don't need to select any particular region. They are globally available. So currently Azure has 60 plus region and it is globally available. And there are also some sovereign regions like US DoD Central or US Gov Central that is typically being managed by US government. And there are another regions like China East or China West. These regions are generally like managed by Chinese government or some Chinese organization with Azure. So from this diagram, it is clear there are different data centers, and these data centers basically can be called as availability zone, which will have its own power, own network, and own cooling. And these zones, there could be a multiple zones in a geographical region, and the group of these zones can be considered as Azure. And these regions are typically connected with each other with some network. So let me show you something interesting. So this is the globe, or this is the map of the Azure physical infrastructure, you can say. These small wires that you can see are basically internet cables or fiber cables that basically carries data from one place to another. And these wires basically run through oceans, and they are quite fast because they are physical wires, obviously. As you can see from the globe, there are multiple dots that you can see. From here, you can see what are these dots and what it represents. So this shape basically represents geographies, and this one is for region. These are for network POPs, and these are for WAN links, right? Now you can see this is Korea geography, and these are different regions. Korea Central. If you click on that, it will show us more information about this. It has 3 availability zones, and it has opened in 2017. So there are multiple things that you can see from here. Now, what happens if whole region goes down due to any disaster? Let's say natural disaster occurs and the whole region goes down, then your application will be down. For that, either your application has been deployed into multiple regions, or you are using region pairs, which are basically pairing of 2 different regions. So like East US and West US. So basically, if East US goes down, if this whole region goes down due to some issue or due to some disaster, West US will keep working and your whole traffic will be served through West US. In that case, still your application will be available even though if your data centers or everything goes down in the East US region. So it basically provides the high availability feature. And another thing about region pairs is basically it cannot be chosen. So if you are using East US, it can only be paired with West US. Right. Similarly, if you are using another region, it could be paired with only one region which has already been provided with Azure. So you can go to the documentation, you can see which region has been paired with which region. And Now the important thing is basically each pair resides within the same geography except Brazil South due to some reason. So the physical isolation between these two regions is at least 300 miles of distance whenever possible. So some services have platform provided replication. That means those services has already been replicated in different regions, mostly in region pairs. And data residency is maintained for disaster recovery. So if you are using two regions or region pairs, so even if any disaster happen, the recovery is very much possible and it's quite easy. Now we have already talked about availability zones, and the group of these zones are known as Azure region. This is basically a region pair where we have two different regions. They have their own availability zones, and these availability zones are basically being connected through networks. They have their own power, cooling, and networking infrastructure. And these region pairs are being connected through networks, which also have very high throughput. And these region pairs are basically located at the same geography, right? So yeah, that was all about region and region pair. Now, when you create any service, there will be an option to select a location. Which location you should select? As we already know, location are basically regions, and these regions are located all over the globe. Now, which region you should select? So you should select that region in which the latency is really low. That means, the users that are trying to access your applications will face least latency. That means, let's say if you are in India and your user base is in India, then you should select the data center or regions that is in India or anywhere near to India so that they can face least latency. How can you see which location is near to you and in which region you face least latency? So let me show you one link for that. Now to select the location, you can go to Azure Speed Test. Here you can see there are multiple data centers and there are multiple regions from where you can select. So these three regions basically provide me with the least latency. So you can select any of these three or any of these two, right? Based on your requirement. Now, as we have talked already, like all the services are not present in each and every region. So you also need to see, like if you want to deploy any service and you have selected these regions, either those services are present in that region or not. So for that, you can just go to Azure product, and here you can see there are product availability. So from here, basically you can download the product list and you can see whether your service is being present in that region or not. For example, I have downloaded the product list for China 1, and you can see if that is possible. You can see from here. So for example, for API management, it is present in China East, China East 2, China East 3, and China North. Similarly, if I had used India region, I could have downloaded the product list of India right from here. So China to India is here, right? So I could have downloaded the product list of India, and from this I would have selected whichever product or whichever service I want to deploy. I can just check it from here. This is in alphabetical order. For example, if I want to deploy app service, I can check whether it is present in Central India or South India or not. So yeah, it's present. You are okay to go with that reason. So it's that easy. For starting, you don't need to worry about these speed tests. You are just exploring Azure. It's okay to select any region based on the costing or the latency. You can select any region, that's okay. But when you are deploying your application and if you have a user base, you should consider this. So that was all for regions, availability zone, and data centers. If you have any question, you can just send us your question or your queries in the chat. We'll try to answer that. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. That would be really beneficial for us and it will help us to grow. Thank you very much.